Hey everyone, thanks again for joining us for our Facebook Live. We are excited today. We actually have a couple people today that are going to join us. So we have Jackie Brown, who's an award-winning quilter, and then we also have Alice Wilhoit, who is a quilter and designer and a pattern designer too. And we'll be talking about the pattern that she designed.
Definitely.
Yep. So, talk.
Well, I was making sure everything was looking good.
Is it looking good?
Yeah, everything looks great.
Okay. All right, so why not wait? Come on, Jackie, come on over.
So right next to me.
Hi, Corey.
Hello. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, so we're just going to start off asking Jackie a few questions about her quilting, her passion, before we get to that beautiful quilt that you guys see behind there. So we will be getting to that quilt. Will be your live, so you get to ask questions. So be thinking about that, why she's telling us a little bit about it. So I'll start off. How long have you been quilting?
I've been quilting for going on 16 years now.
Oh wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were barely thought of then.
I'm 22. So 16 years. What type of machine do you have?
I have a Gamel. I purchased it about 16 years ago.
Oh,
Oh
there
wow,
you
so
go.
you haven't done it so long.
Yeah.
What type of gamble is it?
It's a Millennium.
Optimum.
Optimum. Yes.
Optimum.
Yes. Yes.
Caught her off guard. We're just talking. It's an Optimum Plus. Okay, gotcha.
Caught her off guard. Do you still quilt for the public?
Yes, I do.
You
yes,
do?
I do very much so.
So
yeah.
what is your business name?
Jackie's Machine Quilting.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so everyone go look up Jackie's Machine Quilting on Facebook. Like her page.
Yes.
I also have a website, Jackie's Machine Quilting.
.com?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
JackiesMachineQuilting.com. You can find her on her website as well.
Yeah, so find her on Facebook, follow her on Facebook. She, with pictures and upcoming things that she'll be doing, shows, and then go check her out on her her website too. So okay.
So what are your favorite quilting techniques?
I like free motion.
Okay.
I like coming up with different designs and just making a quilt pop.
So most of the business that you do, are you doing more free motion, or do you do pantograph work still? Or?
I still do pantograph.
Okay.
Yes, I do mostly custom work.
Okay.
A lot of show quilts.
A lot of show quilts. I've seen quite a few of your show quilts.
Yeah,
Beautiful work.
Beautiful, amazing.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I've seen them in the show too. And it's always nice walking by and you see that ribbon. You're like, I know her.
Yeah, I know. She's came in before.
Yeah. No.
So what got you into quilting? What was like your first, jump that said, I'm going to go get a gamble and I'm going to go start quilting?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do we have enough time?
We'll take the short version.
Well, I've always loved sewing. Anything that has to do with a needle and thread, I'm just drawn to it.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my first quilt show, the Dallas show, in I believe it was 2002.
Okay.
And I saw these quilting machines I'd never seen before. And I just did some research and decided to buy my Gamel and went into business.
Well, there you go.
You
Just
jumped
jumped
right
right
in.
into
I
it.
know,
All
I
right.
jumped right in.
That's cool. So we'll tell us. Hi. Oh, we need to tell hi to everybody.
Oh.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. We are glad that you're here. So stay on. Again, you get to ask questions of Jackie later about the quilt behind us. So anyway, so let's tell us a little bit of the name of the quilt that you have here. A little bit of inspiration behind how you named it, how you might have designed it and changed the pattern up a little bit, and then we'll bring Allison to tell us a little bit about the pattern.
Okay. I named this quilt Amelia's Garden. I named it for my granddaughter, who is now in heaven. And this quilt actually inspired me to get it finished. I was sitting there one day and I was just thinking about Amelia and looking at my quilt, and I thought, this is Amelia's Garden.
Yeah.
So that's how I came up with the name for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I changed up quite a bit on it. I changed the center square here. Alice's pattern has a scallop around there. I just put straight sashing.
Okay. Well, we'll get up and talk about. We'll be able to show some of that stuff. So you know what? Why not? Alice, you want to come in? We are just going to squish in here like sardines.
Got a big group of people today.
Yeah,
it's fun.
exciting. So Alice, tell us a little bit about how you created the pattern.
Before she does it, thank you for being here with us
Oh,
today.
yeah,
We
sorry.
want to thank you for that.
Glad to be
I'm just
here.
excited.
I know. So go ahead and give us a little background information on how you created the pattern.
Well, I started out just making blocks, and then I ran into Linda Taylor at the Houston Quilt Festival, and she asked if I had a block of the month ready to go, that she wanted to do some filming, and she wanted to quilt it and then film, do a block of the month series for the quilting school. So I just jumped right in and finished it, sent it to her, she quilted it, sent it back to me, I put the binding on it, and then packed up and went out to Etna for 8 days, and we had fun filming.
Oh, there you
So
go.
you filmed the whole series on
Yes,
how to do it. Okay.
uh-huh.
Well, I'm going to show a little bit of the pattern. So we do have her pattern available, and her pattern is $39.95. So it does come. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see. I don't have anybody behind here today. It's going to come in a package, and I'm going to show you some of the inside of it.
The inserts.
The inserts,
inside of
yeah.
it, okay.
So she did a really good job. It's a color pattern, as you can see. And she goes over every single block, all the directions on all the blocks. She's going to have the little measurement rulers in here, the templates, so you have the templates to do each one on cardstock, so that makes it even easier to follow. And I mean, it's just the whole thing. This is a really good instructional pattern. And I mean, you can see by looking at Jackie's quilt that you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. You can change it up just a little bit. So again, we have this available, and if you have any questions about the pattern while we're on, Alice is here to answer those. I'm just giving you kind of an idea of what you're getting for that $39.95, which is a lot of information. So it doesn't come with the binder, but it does come all hole punched, ready to go.
So, Alice, how long have you been designing quilt patterns?
A little over 20 years. I've been a quilter for 29 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What?
So how big is the pattern? How many pages are in there? Let me look at that.
The pattern is 70 pages.
Oh, wow.
And it's 3-hole punched, and
Mhm.
it's in full color, and it has instructions on needle point, needle turn, back basting, cutaway, reverse, freezer paper starch technique in applique, and it also has information on paper cuts, inner and outer, curves, points, perfect points, how to trim down each block so you get the exact size for the block, how to miter the corners, how to do some pencil and color shading if you don't have just the right kind of fabric, how to use ultra suede, embroidery stitches, and it has wired silk French ribbon instructions, silk ribbon, it has dimensional flowers,
we're like
ruches.
Oh my gosh. This is great.
And
I learned a lot on this quilt.
and in the pattern, it has the final assembly is complete, has complete binding, sleeve making, and label making instructions.
Oh, wow. So you get like
There's a lot of
70
techniques.
pages.
70 pages of techniques, you
Yeah.
guys. Okay, well, that's a bargain now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there's-
Alice, I have to say that I didn't know how to hand embroidery until I took this block of the
Oh,
month.
good. Well, now she does it so beautifully.
So, yeah, you can learn all kinds of stuff from that pattern. Oh, my goodness. I know I kind of glanced through and was looking through it, and I was like, wow, there's a lot here. But, you know, that when you describing it, that there is a lot there.
There is a lot. Yeah, I sat down and thought about it today, and I thought, ooh, there's a lot in this pattern.
Yeah.
Maybe I ought to up the price. No, I'm just kidding.
So a lot of information, I'm guessing, all step by step,
Yes,
how to get you through
you
each one of
bet,
those things.
you bet. In fact, I taught this as a year-long block of the month class, and Jackie signed up for the class. And I had a promotional before the class that whoever names this quilt Springtime in the Garden would get the class free. That was their reward. So Jackie won.
Oh,
so my name for the pattern is from Jackie.
Oh,
She
that's
was a great
awesome.
student. And I have to tell you, Jackie, that is over the top
Oh,
beautiful.
well, thank you, Alice.
It is
Thank you.
wonderful. I'm
Yep,
so
I had a
proud
lot of fun
you.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, the camera does not do this quilt justice by any means. It is beautiful. It's stunning work.
It is.
Yeah, and we'll get a lot closer to a lot of the work too.
And so, talking about the quilt in itself,
Uh-huh.
you have not put this in a show yet,
No,
correct?
no.
So everyone is getting their first look
Yeah.
at this quilt.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not been entered into the show. Now, you were talking before we started filming that this was going into what are the shows that you plan on putting it into?
Well, first I think I'm going to put it in the Plano show in
Okay.
August.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go from there. Hopefully, Paducah Fall, they'll
Okay.
accept it.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Fun.
Yeah,
Let
so
it
it's
start
going to be
making
coming.
its
Yes, just
way
keep your eye
around.
out for upcoming shows. They're making their way around. Yeah, especially when you get some close up of it. You'll want to even see it in person for sure.
gorgeous.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So anyway, just real quick about the pattern again. We do have it online at longarmsupplies.net. If you just go under quilt projects, and it's also going to be on your left-hand side, $39.95. You cannot beat that price with
I mean,
all the
step by
instructions
step,
that you have
70
in there.
pages, full
70
color.
pages color. I know, right?
I mean, we've seen some of the patterns that have been out before. I've never seen a
And
70-page full color.
the
It's beautiful.
instructions are really easy to follow.
Yeah, and
thank
take it
you.
from somebody that followed
Yeah,
him.
thank
So
you.
Yes.
that's a good point. Good job. All right, Jackie, why don't you get up and we can look at some of the quilts, and I'll grab the camera and get just a little bit closer. Thanks, Alice. We might have to bring you back in though. All right, so we're going to get over here to the quilt. Now, you guys, this is your chance to start asking questions, okay? So if you see something you want to ask Jackie when she's talking about it, definitely pop it in there, and I'll let her know, and we'll get that asked. So, Corey, if you just want to kind of start somewhere.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll start on the outside and make our way in.
Okay?
So on the outside, I know we were talking about that you use different templates and acrylic templates to
Right.
make this this scallop. Right? Yes. Now, do you have a regulated machine? Yes, you said you have an
Yes,
Optimum
I-
Plus, so it does
uh-huh.
have a stitch regulator
Yes.
on it. Now, this intricate line work, did you do this with the regulator, or did you do this in constant
I did that non-regulated.
non-regulated?
Yes.
Okay. Also, looking at the outside, looks like you have some Swarovski crystals
Yes,
on here, and it moves throughout the whole entire quilt. How many crystals do you have on this?
1,002.
1,002. Okay, it's a lot of crystals, but it definitely does give it that pop and a little bit of dimension that it was looking for. Now, on the sides right here, I can see you have some cross hatching. What gave you the idea to do the cross hatching instead of doing the full block like you did across the rest of it?
I just thought the corners needed to be a little bit different, and I love cross hatching anyway, so I just kind of threw that in there.
Beautiful. And while we're also up at the corner, we can look at this binding. What technique is that? I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's really interesting.
That is a Sharon Schamberg technique,
Uh-huh.
and I bought her video years ago, and I decided I wanted to put it on this quilt. There's a lot of steps to putting this binding on it. It's very time consuming, and you've got to use freezer paper as a template and measure just right. But it turned out pretty nice. I really was pleased with the way it came out. And that's the first time I've done that.
It's beautiful. Now, moving a little further on the end, I have never seen lace like this before. Is this lace that you purchased, or did you make this?
This is lace that I made.
Oh my goodness.
This is tatting, hand tatting.
Okay, so in the hand, how long did it take you to do that?
Okay. The tatting goes all the way around the inner border, and it took me about a year and a half to make it. And I had to take lessons from a lady that I know that does tat, and she showed me how to do it, and that was another process right there.
Wow.
So yeah, but I just felt like that's what the quilt needed.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. It definitely gives it a different look, and especially being hand done, that's beautiful work. So we're getting a little more to the inner borders and the inner sashing of this, and you have some really dense micro stippling within this, and so I'm guessing you did that in constant mode as well, without the regulator. It's beautiful work. So tell me a little bit about you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. So tell me a little bit about the applique on the quilt. I know we were talking about it was. You gave me some different.
Let's
what
go
you
to
were
this one
talking
right
about,
here.
So.
Everything is appliqued, hand appliqued, and it's all hand appliqued. But if you get real close to all of it, you can see that I also put a embroidered hand stem stitch in there.
Around the outside of the applique?
Yes, it's first applique and then embroidered.
Right around the outside of it. Wow. So embroider and then you, okay. And then so the stitching around this, each block, it looks to be, each block has a different stitching. Is that correct?
A little bit different,
Yeah, they each have a little bit of a different design in each
right,
one that goes with the flow of the applique within the block.
Right.
What gave you the idea to do something different each one, or how did you
For the
get
quilting?
to that? Yes, ma'am.
I just took one block at a time
Uh-huh.
and just kind of studied it and just
Figured out which one was
figured
best.
out what it needed. So I felt like this one down here needed some rays. I've curved rays on that one. I've got a few more with rays in it. And then there's some with feathers and some that just have little tiny circles.
Oh, you know what? Let's just go to each
Beautiful
block real
work.
quick.
You're just gonna go around each one.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
just talk about show the block. Jean says she tats, but she would go crazy doing what you did.
There is one block down here that doesn't have any feathers on it at all, or rays. It's just a crosshatch with every other crosshatch filled in with stitching.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so when you see me crossing, if you think of something you want to point out of that block, let me know. And I can stop for a second.
This one was done with a circle template to get the circle, and then I took a scallop template and worked my way all the way around to make the scallop around the circle.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
And the
so use a circle
applique,
template.
yeah, this is suede on here. That's so there is no needle turn. It's just
Can we touch
That
it?
is.
yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Oh wow.
That is sweet. It's cool.
Wow, that is cool. Beautiful.
It's altar suede. Yeah.
Okay, so Doris just asked the end all be all question. How long did it take you to do this quilt? So we'll do it in 2 segments. How long did it take you to do it in the whole entire process? If the amount of time, I'm sure you had to take breaks within it and do different things. So the piecing aspect of it, and then the quilting, how long did that take?
Well, it took me 5 years to finish this quilt, but
Okay.
with that said, if I was to do this constantly, non-stop, it would probably take me about 1.5 years to do it.
Wow. So 5 years of work, but if you did it nonstop, it'd be about 1.5 years
Yeah.
of work.
Yes.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at this right here. The sun rays.
Careful.
Almost got the whole 12 months here. And the cross hatching inside there. Look at all the detail work in that one. Up and down.
These corner blocks were, one of the techniques that were in the pattern was back basting applique.
Mhm.
And that was, at that time, that was actually one of my favorite techniques to do.
You're welcome, Deborah. We're happy to have Jackie and Alice on the show with us. They said, thanks for sharing. You guys are so talented.
Thank you.
So let's get more into the center
the center,
piece.
yeah.
The big change. Now, from Alice's pattern, I know that you said you did a couple changes to it. First of all, one being these flowers. Did you make these too?
Yes, I did. Those are hand tatted as well. Each flower is an individual flower with a crystal in the center of it.
Oh my goodness! So each one of these tiny little things.
I actually started out, I got a little baggie full of these flowers, and I was going to put a whole lot of flowers on this quilt. And then once I started placing them on there, I felt like that's all it needed. It didn't need any more. So now I still have about a half a baggie,
Oh.
3/4 of a baggie actually, of flowers that I need to find something to do with.
I just love everything
It's
here. It's just
gorgeous.
amazing. Yeah.
I love how the feathers come off the stems of the. It's just
Yeah, I wanted to put a lot of
Beautiful work.
movement
Right.
in the quilt.
Yeah, you can definitely see that. And just the the borders here around here where you change this up a little bit from the pattern too.
Yeah.
Got crosshatch there in the corner and then the straight
Right.
lines.
Right.
It's cool.
Good one.
Again, I love cross hatching. So.
Deborah says she wants your leftover flowers. Hey, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask. That's why they're here. Jackie and Alice are here live. Once they're not live, they're not here to answer your questions.
So these I'm sure there's a specific word for it, for lack of a better term, these curves here. Was this done template work? Did you just all freehand? Did you draw it out?
No, that's template.
It's template work?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So you use a wide variety of templates within
yeah.
this entire quilt.
Oh, yeah.
Just absolutely stunning. And then you have the piano keys right here behind them.
Yeah.
And then your circles are perfect. the pebble work within it.
Well, thank you. The circles, all the circles were done in the non-regulated mode.
Okay.
Yeah, and the stippling.
So a lot of the work on here was actually done in constant mode as opposed to with the regulator.
Right.
Which, as we know, sometimes it can work in our favor to
Right,
do it
exactly,
to do it without
exactly.
the regulator. It looks like we have a question from Jean, who says, "What is in the border?" So, can you explain some of the technique that you went through to do the border quilting?
The quilting?
Yeah.
Well, what that is that that's an orange peel pattern, and what it is you have to use a template to do that. And I use the piecing because each square is a different fabric, which gives it different colors, and so I use those seams as my guide to go from point to point.
Gotcha.
with a curved template.
Gotcha. Okay, and then it looks like she also commented and said, "Oops," she actually meant to say what's actually in the binding. So, like we talked about earlier, what? Go over it one more time. The what's in the binding? How you did it?
Again, that was a long process. That binding, each one of the corded pieces, the loops there, you make long strands with yarn and fabric, and you have to turn that right side very carefully. And once you get that done, then you have to use a template that you've made with freezer paper on each side, and you section out so that every loop measures out the same. Whew. You cut those strands of cording, to make these loops, and you glue them on there.
Wow.
Yeah, yes.
It's quite a long process.
It is a long process. It's a very long process. My evenings for a while were turning the cording inside out.
Wow.
My fingers got kind of raw doing it.
So it's okay, I gotcha.
And this is a facing actually right here. So what you have to do is you have to pull this apart and then you stitch up inside here with your machine.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So it's just amazing. I'm it takes my breath away looking at it, getting up really close to it.
Yeah, especially when you get really close to it, you can see how intricate.
I mean,
Everything
the
is.
stippling right here, it's very, very, very dense micro stippling. And giving the ability for the applique to pop and those feathers and those pearls that you put in there is incredible.
Well, for anybody who knows my quilting knows that I'm very detailed.
Oh yeah, I've seen quite a few of your pieces of your work in different shows, and it's always very, very detailed.
Yeah, so if you're looking for a quilter for your top to go into a show, she's right there. So, alrighty. Well, it doesn't seem like we have that many questions right now.
I think people are in awe too.
Yeah, I think they're just looking, and we've been asking so many questions.
Yes,
so
we've done a lot of it.
Deborah wants to know: is there 2 layers of batting in here?
Yes.
Okay. What type?
Absolutely. There's Hobbs 80/20 in there, and there's also a high loft polyester in it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm guessing the high loft is on top? Or is
Yes.
the
Yes. The high loft is on top.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
That's what helped gives it that.
Yeah, gives it that pop.
That
Yes.
pop.
Yes.
Now, beneath any of these appliques, is there any other batting, or is it just
No.
the high loft and the 80/20? Okay.
Right. Just the 2 layers.
Gotcha.
That's it.
So did you layer them in full piece? Like, is there like a full piece of both of them, or did you?
Yes.
So you did. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. They're both the same size when I put them on.
Gotcha.
But having the high loft, it's kind of hard to work with because the fabric kind of slides
zoops down. Yep.
Yeah, so you really have to be careful, especially when you're stabilizing your quilt. After you get it stabilized, it's not so bad.
Right. What's wrong?
Oh, I keep hitting that. Sorry for all the shaking, you guys. I'm just trying to get really close up so you can see everything.
Beautiful work.
Okay.
There's embroidery purse in here as well. I'd never done before Alice's block of the month, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, that's some of the hand embroidery that she teaches in the pattern, right?
Well, the embroidery purse is when you take like the fabric and you cut out the flower in the
Okay.
fabric, and then you
Oh.
applique it onto the quilt
Gotcha.
the block.
Oh, let's get
and the
closer.
little birds.
Oh,
Yeah, so just
I
like
see.
pieces that were already in fabric. That's cool.
We're getting comments saying so much talent. You're just awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely breathtaking.
Well, I love what I do, and it's a lot of fun. This quilt was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely can't wait to see it in
You
some
just dropped
shows.
that?
No, I know. I'm just
All
knocking
right.
stuff all over the place.
Yes.
Sorry, everyone.
Okay, we'll take a seat.
We have this big old stand, and it's hard sometimes when you're trying to get close to stuff.
Did you just click something?
No, I haven't touched anything.
Hold on. Okay, no, we're good.
In your mind.
Oh, I think I am. But no, we're good again. Okay. Sorry, I gotta I have to check my feeds every now and then, and it said that something wasn't right, so I just wanted to double check.
Alrighty. Well, let's go back over here real quick. I think I have it in there.
Okay.
So, again. What?
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
Go ahead.
We'll go ahead and Alice, you want to join us back again? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So, what's up? Oh, just looking at the pattern.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give another glance for anybody that joined us late about the pattern. So the pattern that Jackie followed and got her guidelines on this quilt is actually called Springtime in the Garden. And we do carry this pattern, 70 pages. Again, I'll go through it just a little bit, won't bore you. But look at those instructions, amazing instructions, detail, all in color. And it's really nice, thick ream of paper too. It's not the thin stuff. Then she's got cardstock in there. And she teaches you all the different techniques and things to go along with this block of the month. And it's only $39.95 for all this instruction. Can't beat it. All right.
So I've got one last question for
Okay.
Jackie. What type of thread did you use for quilting this?
Permacore.
The A&E Permacore?
Yep.
So did you use a 30 text or a 40 text polyester?
30.
A 30 text
Yes.
polyester?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Amazing job.
Isn't it?
Thank you.
And yes, Deborah, we will get the pattern link put into the feed. As soon as we close the feed, we can add a link to it, and we'll get that in there for you.
So, okay, do we have any other questions for Jackie or for Alice regarding the quilt pattern or the quilting or some of the different techniques?
I don't see anything popping up. Go ahead if you have some questions. Go ahead and ask them, and we'll get those answers for you. We are so glad that you guys were here to join us
Yes.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
in. Thanks
We
for
really
coming.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this beautiful quilt. Thanks for sharing
You're
the story
welcome.
behind it, and then sharing, how you created it. And
Well, Jackie's my favorite quilter. She quilts all of my show quilts now. And so, of course, I don't.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
her
team.
last quilt she brought me just recently, she said, Jackie, I don't want it quilted heavy.
That's like,
Gotta give that little disclaimer.
She quilted my quilt that I'm featured on iquilt.com. She quilted it, and it is so breathtaking. She brought it into this store. We met here for me to pick it up. And I just stood back and cried. It was so beautiful.
I remember when you came in and brought that in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, she came in to drop it off, and she opened it up, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Absolutely
She's
beautiful.
done a lot of my wonderful quilts. So
Oh, that's cool.
Very
We're
much
glad to have
appreciated.
you.
Yeah.
And 2080, your Texas are Texas.
Yes,
quilts.
and you
Yes.
Oh
have.
my goodness, been quilting away.
Yeah.
All right,
Not
well,
mine, but customers.
Yeah,
Awesome, right. So once again, we want to thank you for both being.
Go ahead. Well, we had one more question. Is just could she get some instructions on the binding? And what I would say is, we'll send you to Jackie's page and then send her a message. And and I don't know if she has that, or if it's something that you
Yeah,
have
it's a
available.
Sharon Schamberg technique, so
Okay.
you can go on her page, and I'm sure she has it there.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
So
That's
we'll,
right.
we'll put the link on our Facebook
We'll find the
page.
link and do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
we'll get that taken care of for
Okay,
you.
sorry. Now go ahead.
So once again, we want to thank you for being here, taking time out of your
Thank
day,
you.
sharing your quilt with us along with everybody. It was amazing. It was a true honor to sit here and to talk about it and hear the story behind it. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
So,
All right,
go
so
ahead.
just real quick, we are going to say our goodbyes. So we appreciate everyone that's watched us today, and we will see you on May 10th.
Alrighty, bye. Thank you.